praise, glory, hallelujah. Thank God for the day. Deo gracias, yay. It is Tuesday, December 21st, Tuesday, December 21st, 9:27 a.m., the year 2021. I'm going to make an attempt, and I will be, as you see, as lucid as I am Luciferian. Yay! So here we go. Subject-object distinctions. This we're going to get into, okay? And let's see, here's the other even question. With the Milky Way galaxy issue of before, beginning of creation, and after now, is there a distinction between the subject and object? But does it make it okay for you to blow off and say there is none? No. And I'm going to prove that, okay? There is a subject-object distinction between the two, even though the focus is the one and the same. It's the issue. But what is really the issue, and is it really that simple? Am I right or wrong? Okay? Am I wrong or right? Okay? Am I neither or either or? Okay? We'll be the judge. Let's do subject-object distinction. I'm from right out the internet. Okay? Here you go. The subject. A subject is a being who has a unique consciousness and or unique personal experiences. So like it's a person rather than an it. Or an entity that has a relationship with another entity that exists outside itself, called an object. A subject is an observer and an object is a thing observed. This concept is especially important in continental philosophy, where the subject is the central term in debates over the nature of the self. The nature of the subject is also central in debates over the nature of subjective experience within the Anglo-American tradition of analytical philosophy. And this is the issue of objectification of women. Object is when you're not a subject. The funny thing is, subjection and objectification are equally bad. Do women ever think about that? You're being subject to something rather than objectified. What do you prefer? Neither. When you women ever think about that, you don't take the thought far enough. So the men will say, I want to objectify you, I'll just subject you. What? To abuse. You know, to what? To my show. You'll be the subject of my show of ageism. Okay? You'll be subjected to it. Okay? That's all we see in porn. That's all we see in relationships a lot of times, you know. Yes, you're just subjected to it, to whatever I'll put you through. Because I'm the man, we're just going to subject you. Okay? You may not be the object, but you're going to be the object of my subjugation. I'm subject. You'll be my subject. So a subject rather than a ruler. So basically, making a subject-object distinction doesn't help you women going from subject to object. So being subject and objectified are basically, to me, equally, at least equally bad. Something that you women also, as a chivalrous man, I'm going to say so. It's something I don't see in your discussions. Your feminists aren't taking it far enough. Okay? I'm a chauvinist man. Chauvinism forever. Chivalry forever. Chivalry never. I think I'm mocking because it seems like that's what y'all really are telling me. Because chauvinism seems like it's just dominating, you know. As I said before, it looks like the chauvinists are kicking you women's ass. They got y'all beat down, y'all out for the count. They just got y'all with pseudo-feminism. They just make you think you're being respected, you know. It's like giving your respects to the dead. What? Your honor, your dignity, okay, your self-esteem. I just tanked you completely, you know. Where are we? You know, why y'all electing people that don't honor you? You know, here we go. Difference between subject and object, meaning the subject is the person or thing doing the action. The object is the person or thing receiving the action. So in a sense, if you're making love to a woman, objectifying her in that sense is not bad. So maybe you're not taking complaints far enough. Okay? Because the object is the person or thing. It's not just the thing. Like the object of my desire. Well, then you can call that objectification. That's not a bad thing. Who wouldn't want to be but what you don't want to be is the object of abuse. When your objectification of a woman means she's your object of a show of ageism, or that's the one that jism is being aimed at, in the vein, you know, and so she's the object of your crucifix, of your penis, that you're impaling her with, like a piece of meat, crucifying her respect in her personhood. The thing is, when you use the objectification concept to subject her personhood to abuse or crucify her personhood, problematic. This is what we need to think about. Get deep and get strong. Where are you men at? Well, then why do you have daughters? You men are phonies. You don't never complain about this stuff. I don't see you men on the same page with these women like me. I'm in the front lines with the feminists. Where you men at? Frauds, frauds, fraud. Fraud alert, fraud alert, fraud alert. Warning, warning. Okay? Where you men at? Where you men at? Don't you have a daughter? You got a mom? Well, act like it. Do you really want your mother to be an object of abuse? Do you want your daughters? Well, why don't y'all speak up? You Christian preachers should be the first ones. The other one, this is where this came from, out the Bible. Where you men at? Where your ministers at? You got grandmoms. Do you want your grandmom objectified? Okay. Treated like an it. Okay. Not like she's it, but like an it. Okay. You got daughters. Why don't y'all speak up? Why don't you talk to your prospective sons and laws and stuff? I've never seen it. I've been in Christian church in and out of my life. Muslim, nobody's speaking up. All you get is crickets. Why? Is it just for the left to do? Really? When? This is human issues, okay? Here we go. Order. Subject generally precedes the verb. Question words. Subject can be identified by using the question words what or who. Classification. Subject can be classified as simple and complete subjects. Verb subject agrees with verb, okay? These are things y'all need to think about. Now, so I'm thinking into female, male, sex, love, because the issue of objectification is really serious. And like I said, objectification is basically the same as what? In their greed, they shall make merchandise of you. In their greed, they shall make merchandise of you. Okay, it's scriptural. The feminist word is a scriptural condemn. It's a secular quote unquote form of a scriptural condemnation that is extremely fierce. The Bible speaks extremely hatefully about the objectification of anybody, especially women. God hates that shit. Excuse my French, but in so many words, he can't stand it. The God of the Bible hates having women or anyone objectify God, and it doesn't have to be someone in the church. Okay, and just because that woman's Latina and an immigrant, and you're white and a male, Republicans doesn't make it okay. So I'm gonna bust you, Republican. You guys claim to be the people of this book. The God of this book condemns objectification of women. How come y'all don't? Why don't you? It means making merchandise. This is what your Bible says. Okay, it's all. Why don't you speak up about it if you're so biblical? Where are you far right? You right-wing evangelicals and the liberals? Just like I don't hear the voices. Okay. And I've been listening to Christian radio off and on from the time there were times I was a faithful day and night, but like I said, you don't hear anything. Been in church in and out. You don't speak on why. It's as if you have a grudge against the left, that you're not willing to just make peace as preachers because I'm on the right or the center, that I'm not going to be honest with them and say you have a point. Why don't you just read the Bible and instead of giving them buts? It's just wrong. The feminist doesn't need your but and ifs. Right-wing preacher, do you need them? They're right. Just accept it. It's your Bible. Stop being an ass. Okay? Right-wing preacher, evangelical, stop being an ass. A-hole about it. Okay? It's just stop being an ass. I never hear y'all agree. I've been in church all my life off and on. I never heard y'all agree once with the problem of objectification of women. It's almost like it's a snarky joke. You know what it means? It means your church is a joke. It's one of them words where they take it's something that's core to the Bible, and when they use a synonym of it, it shows that you're phraseological, ritualistic, and you're more unsaved than they are. What you claim they are. You say they're caught up in phraseology, religiosity, that you don't have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. But when they nail you on objectification of women, it is literally something that is condemned by every word in this Bible, every man and woman, and every writer. And it's something that's never condoned, it's slammed. It's completely unchristian. But why don't you evangelicals speak on it as right-wingers? Because you're phonies. They got you. It's a shibboleth. It's a shibboleth. The shibboleth was a word that Gideon, son of Joash, used because there were people that had harmed him and his people, and some had not. So the word shibboleth would be pronounced differently by people that were safe and them that were not. So it became a life or death word. And if you pronounced the word wrong, you got killed. If you did right, you were saved. That's basically a problem with things like objectification of women. Okay? And the thing is, you may say they're lost. If they're unchristian people, you will never save them by refusing to give in on a point that your whole Bible teaches. You're telling them they're frauds. So what they're going to be more obedient, they'll take your blessing. Because you're telling them I'm a phony and I don't believe the Bible. And I'm such a heretic and so rigid that I can't tell the synonym. I don't even read this. I don't read the thesaurus. You shouldn't have to be told that if you're going to seminary. All the study I had to do, and I wasn't even that far to seminary, just in Bible Institute, just as a regular Christian. There's no excuse not to be completely full bore, siding with the feminists, okay, on the issue of objectification of women. I don't see it. And I'm going to speak from a whole lifetime dealing with fundamental Baptists, liberals. I don't see it. I don't see that hardcore condemnation. And especially when you all have daughters, wives, mothers, grandmothers, mothers of the church, matriarchs, okay, aunts. I don't see the love. It shows the love, even for your own souls as women, is superficial. Where is it? I don't see it. The Shaddai goddesses speak to me, and I'm going to give you what they see. Ishtar, Shagar, Isis, Mary, Holy Mother of God. They see a complete lack of self-love you women have for yourselves, and the men are full of pretense. We just see talk, no action, okay? You men should be the main ones. And the funny thing is, if you white males were more for real about really being concerned about protecting your white women, this is what you would speak up against. And you wouldn't have your own race of white men being dogged out worse than any group in the fucking universe. The white woman gets trashed worse, but then you claim you care about her. So the black dude, you want to hang him because we're going to bust your groove and show you're a fraud, okay? That's why you don't want us dating your women, because they'll know a better way, and they're going to stop getting treated like shit and they'll get sick of it, okay? Yes, we already know. We ain't all criminals, so you women need to stop, okay? Because I watch the way most of you white women act, you're paranoid. You've been brainwashed against us. So it don't matter how nice or mean we are, you're running away. You're running right into the arms of a creep, okay? So you're like vetted arfarfs on the kennel, little rabbits and cats being fucking trained like little woofy woof woofs in arfarfs, okay? Completely under control while you're being told we're protecting you. You're being hoodwinked so damn bad it's not even believable. I hope you white women wake up and y'all getting played like a motherfucker. The white man is playing y'all he playing y'all like the dopes of eternity, okay? The white man plays you white women like y'all the dumbest, and then it just flatters you and just plays you, oh, I'm protecting you. If you know how demeaning and condescending you white women arf and gobble up like dog food, the way y'all get treated, the vomit y'all women are feeding into. It's like y'all as feminist generation have become the dog returning to the chauvinist vomit. You white women and women in this generation have become the soap that was washed to wallowing in the mire of being a show of ageism. And I'm going to tell you the truth. You women have literally fallen away as feminists back and chivalrous, and you men in this country is literally fallen away from caring about women. You have returned to the vomit of the show of ageism as pigs on the animal farm and dogs. Women have literally returned to the vomit of a kinder, gentler chauvinism. It's basically, it has the show of feminism, and it's a deep pit of chauvinism. You literally have become the cloud of God for the mist of darkness of chauvinism. You literally have become a cloud of God, feminism veneer, the form of godliness, and it's so sad. That's all we see is that it's literally a gloom of darkness, the mist of, y'all literally become the cover. You women are a running pick and a veneer of feminism for absolute abyss of chauvinism. And run around claiming I'm the most, and I'm getting treated by this guy like the most, and it's the abyss. And you couldn't be getting treated more abysmally, and your whole life is about the veneer, okay? You're a bunch of chauvinist devils in a feminist blue dress. This is what I see in this generation. Chauvinist, colorist devils in the blue dress are being democratic, and it's more depths of hypocrisy than ever. The form of godliness of being a feminist and even chauvinist, but you don't have power, and what we see in reality is the mist of darkness, a show of ageism, worse than ever. You're just a moving pick, and there's no ref to call you, because your white man's the ref, so he's glad to have you, okay? White women used to be bleeding heart liberals for black dudes like me. Y'all, those bleeding heart liberal white girls, y'all don't exist anymore. Y'all don't exist. It's like either a white man that chumped y'all out, but y'all don't even act like Democrats. Y'all don't even act like liberals. Okay? I don't know where you women are. I don't even know what a white male liberal is. Y'all just modified Republicans. Okay? All I see is just modified Republicans. Apostasy. But here we go. I'm going to read this. And like I said, but it has happened unto them, and I'm going to say it's happening unto you, women of this generation, from the top to the bottom. And I'm not going to even name names because this is all of y'all, so I'm not going to be as bustball because I think I'm done with that. The dog, once again now, the bitch that used to be a bitch for herself is now just a bigger two-faced veneer of a... She plays the bitch for herself, but she's really not. Okay? But she should be. A living dog is better than a dead lion. Okay? But now the dog, okay, is returned to what? His and her vomit of feminism again. We just use Christianity in the veneer. And what we're doing, you're just a cloud of feminism, God. Cloud of God. For what? For the show of in this midst of darkness. And it's still just a show of ageism. Okay? It's just it's just a performance, okay? You just become more embellished in performing. Okay? That's all I see. Okay? And the soul that was washed, yes, from tolerating being a show of ageism, and you went right back into the mire, okay, of being, a show of ageism that you're just servicing, okay? This is what we see. We're poor in life and sex, okay? The creeps flipped the script, got a little more deceitful, and flim-flammed you women worse than ever. From the top to the bottom, y'all getting dogged out worse than ever, okay? Well, I'm going to say this here about the merchandising, objectification. Because it's a thing here about, in their greed, they shall make merchandise of you. Okay, it's down here. Here it is. And through covetousness, greed, yes, shall they with vain words, like saying we're chivalrous, saying we're feminists, okay, or I stand up for myself and all this, the hot stuff, make merchandise of you. It's called objectification. Even in the sex act, even to the men having orgasms and using you for a show of ageism, okay? Like you just cold cash, you just all hoes and pimps. It ain't that simple, hon. Only if you let it be, okay? That's right. They make merchandise of you. What's it? Whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. This is what Ishtar has to say to you women. They're not impressed with y'all. Okay? They're not fooled by you. Okay? Shagar is not fooled by you women of this generation, specifically in America. Y'all are dropping the ball and failing worse than ever. That's the message I have from the goddesses from you. The female feminist gods that I still never heard y'all talk about the whole time. Why? Because the white man kept the knowledge from you. Okay? Yes. You have Necronomicon now. You can buy it yourself. Okay? Ishtar, Peristar, Shagar, Isis, even the Mother of God. The Holy Mother of God is not the friend of a foolish virgin. Okay? Don't get it twisted. She's not the friend of the prude. Okay? Y'all need to know who the Mother of God is. Stop leaning on old white people and blacks that go to Catholic Church. Know who Holy Mother of God is, okay? Holy Mother of God does not uphold this libertine sexual, just she made a choice. She has a gift. It doesn't mean she opposes the sex. I'll put it this way. Being a virgin, she'll bust your virgin balls worse than anybody. She's not fooled by you virgins. And if your virginity is about being hateful to the man you love, she'll crucify you. That's why she's called Crucifixus Virginis. So don't even try to hide behind a Virgin Mary, okay? A lot of time, that attempt to be virgin, you hold all that off, and you don't give it to any of the good men. Then the creep comes along and face on you and cases you and dogs you out worse because you tried to hold out and you're really being selfish and hateful to good men like me. And so as a foolish virgin, you get trashed by the creep worse than ever, okay? And then you got nothing but problems with the Holy Mother of God forever. Because she never told you to do that. Okay? So don't even put Mary, Queen of Heaven, in it. Okay? When you make bad choices and you refuse to give up the booty to the one she tells you not listen, being a virgin will not serve you. The scripture talks about it. Rahab the harlot goes to heaven. The 5 foolish virgins go to hell. So it ain't about that. So don't go there. It ain't about being a virgin. Okay? Don't forget. The prostitutes and the tax collectors get into heaven before you virgins. Why? Because you're stuck up, you think you're better than everybody else, you're not listening to God, and you think everything's about not giving up the booty, and you're actually a bigger whore to the children of a lesser God than ever. And you don't, it's just because it's a virgin, it doesn't mean all that. Y'all need to get off that tip. It has nothing to do with being religious and everything at the same time. Stop making it Christianity. It's not. Let it go. Don't come to the Mary Mother of God and try to claim that. She's not cool with you, okay? If you don't understand the ins and outs of being a virgin and what it really means, she ain't got nothing to do with you. And I'm going to tell you, she's not accepting you. She won't accept your offering. It's not because you're a virgin. It's because that's not the point. So don't try to identify with her because it don't make you like her. Just because you're a virgin don't mean it. If your virginity is about holding back on someone that the Lord told you to give up the booty to, she'll burn you up for you. Holy Mother will throw you in the abyss herself, okay? Don't ever blame her because you're a virgin, because you're supposed to be doing. A lot of you women are virgins for men like me, but y'all ain't but y'all stone sluts for the biggest creeps. But when you come to me, you act like you're just too prudish to even look. Like saying hi to me is an inconvenience. This is what I see, okay? So I'm just telling you the truth. So here we go. I'm going to go to Jude last because we're dealing with this, all right? We're dealing with this. It's a long broadcast, and I'm going to deal with this because I'm confronting this issue biblically. Objectification, okay? Objectification, okay? And I'm going to give you the roots of the word. Once again, you saw one read already. I'm going to give you the second one. Because the second time, these same false prophets, and once again, I'm going to read it right here, because it has to do with being made merchandise of. And I thought it was twice, but I know it does say it twice, but whatever. The point is this. It's a problem. Being objectified is a problem. It needs to be condemned. But stop trying to be phony about being objectified. Y'all need to be honest about it, okay? And I once again feel that I have never been trying to be here on this planet for 55 plus years to condemn women. But it seems like at 55, this is what I'm doing. Because all I've seen you with, most of them I have to deal with is a refusal to want what you claim you want. Everything you claim you want, when you got it, it's a problem. And I'm not going to try to bust my wife's balls out of her head, but I'm going to tell you what. Both times, it was everything they wanted, and then they refused to hold on to it. They wouldn't reciprocate. And then I was a problem. It was as if I really don't want all this. I had to be honest with you, you know. Yeah, but then they want to lie on me, both of them, and try to make me out to be the bad guy at the end. Okay? When a man does everything for you and you don't reciprocate, that's your fault, hon. So that's Pamela McLean's and Renee Aldridge's fault. That's not Reggie's fault. And I hate to get personal, but I'm not going to be blamed because my wives dropped the ball when I did everything for them. Was everything like the song? It's the same story twice. And with the woman I've been with, why do you have to be a heartbreaker when I'm being everything you want me to be, and it's truly who I am? Suddenly, everything I ever wanted has passed me by. This already been through twice, okay? Just because when your chauvinism just comes down to everything's a man's fault, that's all we see. In the end, you're really just saying I'm just going to blame the man for everything. And the court system's going to slant me. We call it feminism. So I'm going to be a total bitch and a rotten ass. And then when I go to court, they're just going to tank Reggie just because he's a man and I'm a woman. This is what we men see feminism as, and this is what it's been to me. Okay? My wives got their ass kissed, got treated like queens 24/7, and guess what? They basically just chose to refuse to keep their vow. And in the end, in counseling, they had to admit they didn't have no excuse. I'm just not doing it. So I left. So you know what? I'm not going to take the blame for those marriages. I'll try to be diplomatic, but I'm going to defend my reputation. At this point, I'm like, forget it. Okay? It's not self-righteousness. The therapist said it. It's in the records. Okay? It's in the court records. It's in their reputation. So it's not about Reggie being self-righteous. So I'm going to defend myself. So I'm not going to tolerate people trying to tell me that there was even a possibility I would have been violent or anything. No, it's because you got a slanted court system that just thinks being hostile toward men and black men in courts makes you a feminist. When your woman's wrong as two left shoes and you just slam them in anyway, and that's what you call feminism, it's going to die. Okay? Y'all done made a bad idea. That's a bad idea. That tanks your women. That's going to tank your women more than ever. And a lot of that is a big reason for the rise of Trump. It's because of this kind of mentality in the courts, the police, the system, that the men that are good are being victimized. You just made these men your eternal enemies, okay? Y'all done made, and because you're being your own enemies. This system out y'all got, but it's supposed to be feminist. And that's what y'all feminists, it's made things worse than ever.